Have you ever wondered how to get rid of items within your photo? Well, in Photoshop, there are 3 main ways to do that. Let's talk about it. The first one up is the clone stamp tool. It looks like a stamp and the shortcut is S. The few things that you do need to pay attention to when using the clone stamp tool is going up here to the top and making sure your size of your brush is as big as you want. The main thing you have to pay attention to is when you are trying to use this tool, you have to tell the computer where you want to copy from by holding Option. You see that little target. Wherever you click while holding Option and using your mouse, you click, let go of Option. You are now telling the computer this is where I want to copy from, and wherever I paint is where I want to paint that same area. And if you see that little plus, that's telling you where it's literally copying from. Let's say we want to go from over here. Let's hold Option, click, let go, and we can just use that paintbrush to slowly paint away that horse. One thing that you will learn quickly while using a lot of these tools is that one tool will work really well in some situations, while one tool might not always work best every situation. Like as you can see here, as I was copying, you can kind of see that repetition. And a lot of that repetition is something that will, alert people that you were editing the photo. So paying attention to those details while using something like the clone stamp tool is really important. Look for those things that repeat, because that means it's a good tell sign that you did a little bit of Photoshop editing there. Alright, the next one up is the spot healing brush. The shortcut is J on your keyboard, and it looks like a band-aid. This is a great tool. Again, you can come up here and change the size of your brush, and all you have to do with that spot healing brush is make a selection. You're gonna paint everywhere that you want to get rid of. Let's say we want to get rid of that horse right here in the main section, and you just want to make sure everything is selected. But as you can see here, there's some residue, and for the spot healing brush, I always recommend to anybody using it, go over it again a few times and really just kind of like solidify that this is what you want to get rid of. Sometimes you gotta repaint it, and honestly, does a pretty good job. Sometimes it does better than others. I will say this one works really great if you have a very simple background behind it, because basically it's just copying and pasting what's around it, and it's contextualizing. If this is around here as well, then this is what I should probably put here. The last one that we're going to talk about today is using the new generative fill. There's a bunch of ways you can create a selection, and we can make a whole separate video about selections. But for today, there's a few things. You can use this rectangular marquee tool, which is basically you can just create a box by just clicking and dragging. There's a bunch of different versions of that with like a circle, a single row, single column. There's also here under lasso tool. I really love the lasso tool. We're gonna do this. This basically allows you to draw whatever shape that you want, and it will allow it to create that selection. So if you have something a little bit more unique, a little bit harder to say this is exactly what I want selected, you can also use the object selection tool, the quick selection tool. These are all really great tools that ultimately just allow you to click in a certain area, and it allows the computer to just guess where the rest of that image is, and you can go in and fine tune that. In a future video, I will talk about more specifics. But for today, we are gonna use the rectangle tool. We're just gonna click and drag, create a box around that horse. We're gonna come all the way here to the edit button. We're going to come all the way here to hit generative fill. So this prompt box will allow you then to type in whatever you would like. But in our situation, as we were just trying to get rid of whatever is in our selection, we're just going to hit return, and it's just going to do its best to, like I said before with the other tools, use what's around it to basically cut out what we have selected. Let's see how it does. Sometimes it does great and sometimes it doesn't. And honestly, this one did a pretty good job. If you come over here, you can see different variations. Each time you do it, it gives you 3 different variations. So sometimes it will give you something you don't love about the first one. You can see there's just like small changes. Honestly, it did a pretty good job. Please let me know if this helped at all. Let me know if you want to see a big overall Adobe Photoshop tool explanation, because I love to help you guys out. Hit that subscribe button, like button, and I'll see you next time. Peace.